Two cars aren't going to need that. I guess we're calling it a drag race because they are starting from a standing position right at the Thousand Island Bait Store start fishing line. Brad Berry will be giving them their instructions down there. That is Dan Estel to the inside in the white Mustang. Caleb Irish to the outside in the green Camaro. Tracks that this is one of their biggest classes of the night. Waiting for that green light up there in turn one. There it is, and right away Dan Estel gets the jump. Squirrely again going through turn one. We'll see if he can keep it together on the backstretch this time. Remember, it's 2 laps. As Caleb Irish has a long way to go to catch up, but mainly wants to keep that thing going forward. White flag is out for Dan Estel. That's the first time he's flown across the line knowing he's got to do one more lap. It's a change in feeling out there for these drivers, and it's a pretty healthy lead for Dan Estel. Looks like whatever problems he had earlier, he has gathered it in, and he will move on to the second round. Caleb Irish will move into the bracket, and I believe his competitor will be Bernie Lamb when they come out this next time around. Brad Berry will line them up, and we will go around for 2 laps. If you want to say number 6 and number 5, you can do that. They're super sprints. Appreciated having that room to come out onto the track and get onto the backstretch. There we go. The Kyle Wirtz and Heather Farr, they're pretty dead even, and Heather Farr lights them up a little bit going into the turn. She's got the long way around on the outside. They are neck and neck headed down the back stretch. They've got another whole lap to go, and Heather Farr jumps in front of Kyle Wirtz as they go around turns 3 and 4 this time. Kyle Wirtz trying to creep up on the inside, getting closer. White flag is out. And the 68 Camaro's got the hammer down going through turns 1 and 2, but Kyle Wirtz is right there in the Monte Carlo. He's got some ground to make up. He's got his arm out the window like it's a Sunday drive for Kyle Wirtz as he goes into turn number 3, or maybe he's going to slide over into the passenger seat if he doesn't hang on. Coming out of the turn, it is Heather Farr in the 68 Camaro. Kyle Wirtz will head toward the elimination round. There they go. Green light is on, and Heather Farr's got a little bit of a jump on the inside. She was on the outside lane that first start. A little bit of grip up there for Brendan Fone. He's staying right with it as they head down the backstretch. Into the turn. This one could be a little tight. As they come around, the white flag is out. Heather Farr puts that Camaro 8-cylinder power to the test as the white Civic Brandon Fone is right there and actually looked to be getting a little closer going turn 1 and 2. But I think Heather Farr had turns 3 and 4 figured out. This one's not over. Brandon Fone on the high side. They're coming out of turn number 4. Heather Farr on the low side. She wins again. Stays alive. Brandon Fone will go to the elimination round. Last lap and the checkered. They start on the green light. And the green light is out and Dan Estel is off like a rocket. And Bernie Lamb is going to settle in and just try and hit a few marks and get a couple of good laps in. He will be back out later. And that saying it's never over till it's over, is that going to apply here? Dan Estel looks like he's got a groove out there that he's comfortable with now as he goes around. Bernie Lamb cranks up the RPM as he goes across the line, and Dan Estel will move to the next winner's round. Estel coming off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out for him. Bernie Lamb will be the next car by. Bernie Lamb living his bucket list dream here tonight at Evans Mills Raceway Park, and we'll see him one more time.
Get the guys, like you park them on the white line.
At any rate, this one's going to go as Brandon Fone gets a good start in that green Charger. Lighting him up out there in that silver GTO is Carl Farr. And he is looking to the high side as Brandon Fone. Brandon Fone's been out there once already. He's a little bit used to this track, but it's a different car as they come around to complete their first lap. The white flag is out the final lap. Brandon Fone, the brake lights come on a little bit going into the turn, but not for very long as they jump off of it and speed out of turn number 2. Closing a little bit is Carl Farr, but he's not going to have enough. Brandon Phone is going to be your winner here. Oh, he's getting out of shape down the straightaway. And the Dodge Charger will go to the winner's round here on the spectator side. Looks like we might be ready to roll. Here it is. Green flag is out. And Tim Keys gets a great jump right at the start in that Jeep going through the turn. But I think Max Copeland's got a little bit of momentum just as he was pulling up to Tim Keys. The Jeep took off. Now here comes the white Corolla to the outside. The white flag is out. We may get a pass down here as Max Copeland and Tim Keys are going to make a race out of this. Keys on the high side. Copeland has to get on the brakes to get through the turns, and Max Copeland is now in front with the white Corolla. And Max Copeland driving a nice race. We saw a pass. We haven't been seeing that, and he will be the winner here of this round. Tim Keys will go to the elimination round. Green light is on, and off they go. Pretty even start. Max Copeland's going to have to get down to the inside this time. He took the high line the last time. Brandon Phone pulls in front of him. Pretty even going down that backstretch. One more lap to go. It changes the whole strategy when you don't have to get around him on that one turn. Copeland looking right at that wall and looking for some room to go around Brandon Phone, not finding it. Brandon Phone's got some horsepower in that Charger, and he uses it going into turn 3 and 4. The Corolla probably handling a little better through the turns, but the Charger a little faster down the stretch. He's getting out of shape. Brandon Phone, your winner here at the line. Max Copeland, once he saw that green Charger go sideways, gave him a lot of extra room down. It's green. And one thing about that white Mustang, Dan Estel always gets a good start at the line. It's now if he can hold his line and get through the turn safely. Heath Farr's got a little bit of ground to make up out there. Estel flying around the turns. He's got that car screwed to the track. And speed is the name of the game on that white Mustang as he flies by the Thousand Island Bait Store start fishing line. And Dan Estel hitting his marks out there. We'll take the checkered flag one more time. Estel blowing across that start finish line. Well, Heath Farr's put up some pretty good races. Just came up against somebody that was a little bit too strong here in this round. Done a great job maintaining these cars. They are nifty looking cars. Waiting, there it is. Green is out. Dan Estel working his way through the gears. Likes to get that back end swirling around a little bit going into turn number 1 at the start. Coming around now to take the white flag. Dan Estel in the Mustang. Brandon Phone in the Chargers. Got a little bit of ground to make up. A lot of speed down that backstretch for Dan Estel. And you'll see it again as he comes out of turn number 4 to go across the Thousand Island Bait Store start fishing line. Dan Estel cranking it up. Brandon Phone met his match in that one. Off. Just waiting for the green. There it is. Tim Keys gets the jump, gives a lot of room on the bottom for Caleb Irish, who has the short way around, and they're pretty close on the backstretch. Caleb Irish trying to make up some ground as they go into turn number 1. He's got the inside. Irish might have a little bit of an advantage coming out of turn 4. He does. Caleb Irish. And Tim Keys, if he can really put the hammer down and get some grip, he might have a shot at it coming out of turn number 2 as they go down the back stretch. They are close. 2 more turns to go for Caleb Irish. Checkered flag will come out now. It's a drag strip to the finish line, and it is Caleb Irish. Wow, they were close together. We're used to seeing that with race cars, not passenger cars. Also tiny. Caleb Irish waiting to see who wins this one between Kyle Wirtz and Carl Farr. They're pretty much dead even at the start. A slight advantage on the inside for the GTO for Irish. For Farr, rather, Carl Farr. Kyle Wirtz has a little ground to make up as they go into turn 3 and 4. Carl Farr feeling pretty good right now as he comes out of turn 4. The white flag is out. Running a nice wide line through the turn, leaving room if the Wirtz car in the Monte Carlo can get up there. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Checkered flag will come out this time, and it'll be Carl Farr. He will go up against Caleb Irish. All eyes now on the starting light down there over in turn 1. There it is. A pretty good start for Brandon Phone on the outside. Bernie Lamb has room on the inside if he can stick it in there. The Honda Civic, pretty sizable advantage going down the backstretch. One more lap to go for Brendan Phone as he comes off at turn number 4. The white flag comes out. Brandon Phone in that Honda Civic, a commanding lead. And the checkered flag will fly, and Brandon Phone will be going up against Max Kaplan. Jay Schimmel gets out of the way, and we'll wait for the green light, which is on now. Brandon Phone gets a little bit of a jump in the Honda Civic. Max Kaplan trying to stay with him. We got two white streaks out there. Kaplan looks to be a little faster through the turns, loses some ground on the backstretch. Let's see what happens here in turn 3 and 4. And Max Kaplan starting to creep up behind Brendan Phone. Might have a race out of this. One more full lap to go. Kaplan to the outside, given a lot of room. Brandon Phone moves up. It blocks the car of Kaplan, the white Corolla, and that may have been enough to give Brandon Phone the win here as they come off turn 4, and Brendan Phone will go up, I believe, against Heath Farr. I'm not sure if I have Caleb Irish and Carl Farr, your two drivers down there. Oh, look at those back tires give a little bit of a spin there on the green Camaro of Caleb Irish, and it works to his advantage at the start going into the turn as he gets quite the jump on the silver GTO of Carl Farr. However, the GTO is closing fast. Look how close they are going through turns 3 and 4. We've got another full lap to go. Who's it going to be coming down the straightaway here? Irish goes up high. And they are trading back and forth positions out there. This is a battle, folks, down the backstretch. The silver GTO with a slight advantage as they go into turns 3 and 4, but Irish is not done. On the inside, this is a tight one there, right together. Caleb Irish takes it on the last turn. That's one of our better races of the day in any class. Caleb Irish gets it done, and he will go up against Heath Farr. And their head as to what's been working for him. A good start for Caleb Irish on that last race, and a pretty decent one again this time, as Heath Farr's got some ground to make up in the Camaro. It is Camaro versus Camaro out there. The green one at the front of the pack right now of Caleb Irish slides up the track a little bit, coming around the turn. The white flag is out. Irish goes into turns 1 and 2, and if he can keep hitting his marks, looking pretty comfortable right now. Heath Farr's got some ground to close, and they will come out of turn number 4. The checkered flag will come out, and Caleb Irish lives for another day. And he has suddenly found a way to get that car around here. Green light. We're ready to go. Brendan Phone gets a jump. Caleb Irish on the inside, and we have seen that he is not afraid to race close out there. Caleb Irish spins it around, keep it off the wall, and he does. That got a little bit too close, but it gives Brendan Phone a lot of room to come around for the white flag. And right now is when you don't want to make a mistake. Brendan Phone taking it easy through the turns. Caleb Irish trying to play catch up. He just needs a few more laps is all. And 2 more turns for Brendan Phone, and he is going to take the checker, I think. Yes, he is. Brendan Phone, checkered flag. Your winner here, Caleb Irish, has participated in some of the most exciting races of the evening. Green light is next. There it is, and we're gone. And Dan Estel works through the gears as he has been all night. Brendan Phone giving him room in that Charger, trying to keep pace. Dan Estel right now dominating again as he comes across the line to complete lap number 1. Estel absolutely flying as he goes down the straightaway. Phone is flying too, just not as fast. You've got 2 very quick cars out there. And going through turns 3 and 4, it is gonna be Dan Estel one more time. Brendan Phone in the Charger got a little ugly coming out of turn number 4, but he kept a hold of it. Dan Estel at the top of the hill on another Spectator race night.
Good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, Dan Estel goes back-to-back in our Spectator drags. Dan, congratulations. How do you like this format? A little 2-lap shootout, double elimination?
It's perfect. You guys did a great job with it. Double laps, double elimination. It's excellent. You guys did a fantastic job.
Awesome. You want to tell us a little about your car? What do you got going on?
Yep, so it's supercharged. It's got air-to-air intercooler, larger injectors. I tune it. It makes 822 horse at the wheels. Pretty quick, yeah.
Very good. I'm sure you never race on the street against anybody, do you?
Oh, never.
You ever think about doing this stuff on Saturday night?
I'd love to.
Very good. Dan Estel picks up the Spectator win. Bernie Lamb out of his hot rod carrying a bottle of Pedialyte. He's staying hydrated. Bernie, come on over here in the front. Let's catch a word with you. Come on over here.
Oh, he's going to talk to you.
Yeah, let's get a quick interview. Bernie, welcome to Evans Mills Raceway Park. How fun was this?
Too much. That was awesome. I always wanted to be an astronaut. This is the closest I'll ever get.
We'll take it. Tell us about your car. What do you got here?
It's as old as I am.
27 years old, huh?
Now, when I came back from Vietnam, I could have bought this bitch new.
What year is it?
71, kind of.
71, kind of.
71. Yeah, 70, 71, 75.
Very good. Who's down here? Who are your friends?
My son, Ben, my brother, Tom, and Mr. Dobransky, wherever you are, I love you. And Fort Drum, thank you, guys. You guys, all you guys are awesome. Thanks.
Very good. Bernie Lamb having the time of his life down here in the Spectator Drags. Former veteran, we thank you for your service. Got his buddies around him in a nice-looking hot rod. Keith, back up to you.
Well, you've heard announcers say this is what it's all about, and sometimes you wonder what they're talking about. John Burr wrote a poem called Racing Friends. We read it every year at the John Burr Classic. We'll be doing that again this year. That's what we're talking about down there, Racing Friends. All gathering around Bernie Lamb. And I don't know if anybody had more fun than him tonight, but he made a great race out of it, a great night. Thank you, folks, for joining Bernie down there, getting that photo op. That was fun to watch.
Hey, Omar, pick one.
Paid technical programs, good deal.
Next one.
Got it. My kids.